Well, Bob McIlvaine, a former school teacher from Philadelphia, whose son Bobby was killed in the attacks on the World Trade Center in New York on September 11th, is joining us. Bob, what about magic passports at the Pentagon, at Shanksville with Flight 93, and at the World Trade Center less than a day after, with feet of rubble and dust and papers everywhere? The FBI find an unscathed passport of one of the lead hijackers. I mean, come on. How obvious does this have to get?
Well, with that, I would still say to someone that, all right, they found the passports there. It's mind-boggling to me. I mean, immediately I heard that, and I said, this doesn't sound right. But I wouldn't base anything on that. The more I investigate, and of course, we don't have the time. I think I could sit here for 6 months and we could talk about 9/11. Which, I look at.
We'll do another show with you, and maybe Charlie can come back in a few weeks when you're on a landline. I know you were down there at the memorial today. You're traveling back in a car right now on cell phone. But Charlie, would you? I know you and Bob have talked privately. I got you guys together. Would you like to say anything to Bob McIlvaine?
Bob, I just want to say that I'm just so deeply sorry for your loss. I'm a father of 5, and I can't even imagine what you've been through for almost a decade now. And I hope that my efforts and the efforts of people like Alex and all of those that are joining our cause or are already a part of it. I hope that we can not only deliver some hope, but we can also deliver some answers.
Bob?
Thanks, Charlie. Appreciate that.
It's the least I can do, Bob. It's my duty.
Bob, does it anger you? I mean, I know I've talked to you on the phone. It does. To watch Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, Bill O'Reilly saying none of the families think it's an inside job and that they're angry at Charlie. Well, but they never bring these people on the show. They're just there lying, saying this.
Is that to me, Alex?
Yes. I mean, does that make you mad?
I try not to get. I mean, I really have to work on my anger, and I really watch the shows, and I look at them as entertainers, and to me, they're clownish. I mean, like you look at Glenn Beck. I mean, they're there to make money, as far as I'm concerned, and they do that to get people angry, and that's why. Sometimes you really have to protect yourself and try to stay away from
specifically, they are misrepresenting the families. I've interviewed all the heads of the biggest groups, and they all say they have...
There's no question about that. But, they have that kind of power because if people hear it from them, then they'll believe it. And
but, I mean, just to be clear on record, you and many other family members and victims are not angry at Charlie. And are you tired of them misrepresenting you and wrapping themselves in the victims?
Oh, of course I am. I do get angry, but that's why I won't watch the show because it gets me angry. And you have to stay cool. You have to stay calm because you can't get the word out if you don't. And I'll tell people that. I'll say I know thousands of people, not personally, but just from the website. And sometimes it gets me angry that more 9/11 family members aren't doing more. I've told people, I say, if we got 200 family members who went down there and did civil disobedience down at the Pentagon or down at the FBI building, I'll tell you what, we would get something done. But, it's such an emotional thing to get involved in, and that's where the problem is. So don't hear from family members that they feel that this is horrible, what we're doing, but they just don't hear from the other family members because it's so difficult to do this.
Sure. Bob, in closing, specifically, what do you, from your research, believe happened on 9/11?
I think you had 19 patsies that came in. They were trained in the United States. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was a patsy. And NORAD, it was a combination of staying down, and because of the war games, it was really easy. People say, well, there had to be thousands of people. But if you understand the war games, the planes should have been intercepted. And what happened in the months before and what happened on that day is just unbelievable. And that's where the story, and it seems a lot of 9/11 troopers, I don't know if they ignore it, but we don't talk about it. Those planes should have been intercepted. That's standard procedure. And real quickly, General Myers said, well, that we were trained to look to the outside. But one of the missions of NORAD, and it's been since 1958, when NORAD was started, that air sovereignty is the most thing that they have to look after. So
Well,
that's where an investigation goes, and that's what convinced me 100%. Like, I will not go around saying, I think I know.
All right, Bob, in closing here, we're going to have some final comments from Charlie Sheen. Charlie has talked to you. I've talked to you. You want to go on Larry King Live. You're ready to debate whoever they put up against you, and you do. I mean, but in your own words, you want to go with Charlie and other 9/11 victims and meet with President Obama?
Absolutely, Alex. Just tell me where and when.
But Bob, you're ready to, you want to go and meet with President Obama? I
would meet with anybody. I'll meet with the man on the moon. That's what it took to get the truth out. I'd be willing to meet with anyone.
To get the truth out?
I'm willing, yeah, especially the president.
All right, Bob.
Let's start at the top, Bob. Let's start at the top. Work our way down.
All right, Bob McIlvaine, God bless you. Sorry about your son's loss, but he lives on through your grandson who you're raising. God bless you, sir, on this 8th anniversary. Take care.
All right, hey, thank you, Alex.
You bet.
Thank you, Bob.
All right.
There he goes. Okay, in the 6-7 minutes we have left with Charlie Sheen. Charlie, your letter, your statements, your video message of the president, a call to arms. You're the general. Millions are listening. Tens of millions will view this later and listen to it later. The call to arms, the call to action. What do you want to see in 9/11 truth, my friend?
I want people to start standing up. I want people, first of all, to wake up, those that haven't already, and then sorry, I just got interrupted. and then just know that they have a voice, and that through in en masse, in numbers, they have a bigger voice, and reach out to your local politicians. Get organized. Get petitions going. Make the voice louder. Bring this thing to a point where they cannot ignore it, where it isn't just, a whack job actor from Hollywood talking about fantasy theories. Get involved, people. Get out there. Do something. It's one thing to say, and I really appreciate all the comments and all the support, but take that energy and put it into action. Put it into action and demand the truth. Get on the right side of history with us.
Beautifully said. 9/11 was meant by the scientific dictatorship, the controllers, in their own documents. They talk about how they would stage massive terror attacks to get total power. It was meant to be the event to set up a planetary police state. I believe 9/11 is going to end up, and also these premeditated, offensive crimes against humanity, these offensive, preemptive wars, I believe it's going to be their Waterloo, Charlie.
I hope you're right, Alex. I hope you're right. I mean, this stuff happens in broad daylight, and that's the arrogance. That's the pathology that we're dealing with here, and we just need to keep asking the hard questions, keep insisting that people don't allow ourselves to be dismissed, just pushed over there. And I think it's like what Aaron Russo said so wonderfully in his final interview in that wonderful documentary that you put together with him. He says, don't be afraid to be called stupid. Don't be afraid to be called crazy. Don't be afraid to have a voice. Don't be afraid to stand up and say, wait a minute, people, this doesn't make any sense. And I'm insisting that somebody look at this. Somebody that has the power to make a change needs to look at this. Enough.
Well, Charlie Sheen, your courage is an example to all of us. A man who is the highest paid TV actor out there, 5 children, a great life, and takes a lot of risk. And I know this has been good for your soul, as you said many times to me, food for the soul, but at the same time, very stressful. And if we all lead by your example, we're going to be in a better world, because great tyranny is upon us, and people better get involved. We're being lied to about the banking takeover, the $23.7 trillion. I know you'd also said that the Obama deception, you'd supported Obama, really also helped crystallize that why isn't he calling for a new investigation? What was your take on the Obama deception?